Hello, how's everybody doing tonight? Did you miss me? Sorry about not being around last week, but it looked like the squirrel did an okay job. Lighting's a little screwed up in here right now. That's all right. See what we got here. Oh, Lord, we're talking about Jade and their clocks. Okay. GK, good to see you. GG, welcome. Charnu, good to see you. Angela, welcome. Jade, glad you can make it as well. Am I missing here just yet? Violet Star, welcome. Maria, welcome. All right. So let's see if I can get that positioned a little bit. There we go. That's level. Hope you all are doing wonderful this week. I know I've had a busy week, but a very productive and good one. Got to admit that. And yeah, oh no, it's been going great for me. We do have a few things I got to remember to do. I think I have here on it. Yep. Okay. So for the last little bit, we have been doing for super chats of $5 or more. You will be included in a luck and prosperity spell working for this week. That will be continuing. I've got a lot of great comments and feedback on that, so we will be continuing to do that. That's for super chats, just for that if you want, or that's for super chats if you have a question and you wish to make sure it gets answered. You can do a super chat of any amount or value, and it'll flash it up real fancy over here on the screen, and I'll get to the answer, as long as you keep it within the YouTube guidelines of appropriate content. Do remember that. And as always, we do thank you all for your support of the channel and the work we do. Next, I forgot to remind Squirrel to mention this last week. But to my channel subscribers, the paid channel subscribers who subscribe through YouTube memberships or Patreon, you guys already know about this. On September 30th, I will be hosting again a live workshop, this time on grounding and shielding and practices therein, over at the Working Dragon Mystic online school. You can go to workingdragonmystic.com, click the online courses tab. At the very top, you should see the grounding and shielding workshop. It is limited seating, so first come, first serve. So go in there and reserve your seat if you are interested in that particular workshop. I think we're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to be talking about different styles of shields, different styles of grounding, as well as we may, if we have time, talk about some more advanced methods, but we're going to definitely go pretty deep into those topics. All right. Let's see. And somebody told me I don't mention it, but we do have a gilded community. And it's actually a great community. We've got a lot of great people over there who participate in the conversations. Jade usually drops a link in the chat. And if you can't find it there, there's usually a link in the About section here on the YouTube channel. So there we go. And you know what? This lighting's killing me. I'm going to try something, so pardon me. I know it's improper to get up while you're on live stream, but that was really bugging the piss out of me. So, and we all know I'm not exactly that proper anyway, so no one should be surprised. All right. Hope everybody's doing great. Let's see if I got anything going here real quick. I do actually have a few things I'd like to talk about. The net was so bad I missed most of last week. Indeed missed. Oh, it's good to be missed. Is the coffee using its power for good or evil or both? That's yet to be determined, honestly. I have not read Dragons and Tacos. I'm still working on getting to that. So after looking over my schedule and everything for the remainder of the year, I realized I have like no time to really do a lot of extracurricular stuff as we prep for the move and making sure the channel's prepped and all that. So I actually got a bit of a time crunch kind of anxiety feeling when I was looking at my calendar. But I think we're going to be good. I think we're going to be good. And that is definitely on my list. I haven't purchased it yet. I'm going to try and download it. I may try to remember this week. And at least I'll have it there ready to read. Let's see what we got here. Evelyn, good to see you. We don't have our ducks in a row. Dragons. Dragons and hex squirrels. That's what we got. Yes, it is. Nothing wrong with feeling punny. Nothing wrong with feeling punny at all. I throw dad jokes and puns around like they're going out of style. I absolutely love it. So, yeah. Let's see. I'll just send you a link to read aloud of the book. Yeah. You shoot it to me on Gilded there, Angela. That'd be great. Appreciate it. Okay. So, I've been getting lots of emails about cryptid research and the new cryptid series we've started, which, by the way, we got another one coming out this week. And people asking me to do this cryptid or that cryptid, and I should prioritize this one over this. And we absolutely love all of the suggestions. We really, really do. And we are going to try and cover what we can in the roundtables and get to them. We don't want to rush any of them, of course, obviously. But we are going to try and cover as many of them as we can. Now, I have had some people saying certain things have been proven, and by proof they mean there's a videotape of this happening. This day and age, let's be honest, video is not proof of squat. In fact, it wasn't 50 years ago because you could alter the video so easily. And, this comes up also in things like energy work because you all know my position on magic or energy work replacing real medicines and why it's so dangerous to promise these things as a proven cure when none of them are. Absolutely none of them. There may be anecdote style evidence out there. There may be video of someone claiming certain things, but there is no in-lab studies where everything's controlled, everything's observed, everything's repeatable. And when I say proof of, I'm meaning within the scientific side of proof. So if you throw something at me and you're calling it proof and it's just video or it's something that's someone's opinion and they can't put this under the scientific definition of proof, just know I will consider it interesting, but I won't consider it proof. Because I've been getting a lot of emails of people trying to cram this stuff at me, and then they get really upset when I say that's not proof under this lens. And then they just, some of them start cussing, spamming emails, which is funny, to watch someone's feelers get hurt so easily. And some of them get mad and swear they're going to discontinue watching my channel. And it's like, I'm guessing you didn't watch it to begin with because I've always been pretty open and honest about where my stance on these things is and what is proof and what is, opinion or personal practice and those things. I've always kept those lines pretty distinct, I thought. So there is that. And I did not get much sleep last night, so it's a little hard to read here. See what we got. You want to talk about Citry? I do want to talk about Citry. I'm actually planning on doing a video on Citry. But, Citry is an interesting entity to work with. I do think Citry gets a bit of a bad rap in a lot of ways and is often misemployed. by people who do not understand the entity and do not have a concept of how powerful free will is actually in this world. And most of the people who seek out Citri's help actually are more self-absorbed, greedy, and don't really have a concept of other people. Um, so as much as I adore Citri as an entity, the modern view of Citri I find disturbing. Can do that after. Thanks, Angela. That's great. Let's see, Loveless, good to see you. Anthony, welcome. Let's see. Well, let's start. My Zoom attempts fails me for class a second time. I'll just sign out and watch it later. I'm hoping it was an audio hookup I did wrong, and I'll be early to test it without being interrupted. Hey, sorry, that's cool. Yeah, actually, you know what I'll do? I'm going to try and be into the class about 10 minutes early, sitting there, going over notes. So for anybody who needs to do some testing, there'll be a 10-minute window there where you can pop in and out to get things working. But you know what, Botstar, you bring up an absolutely great point. For anyone who does sign up for the live class, there is a replay. So if something happens with your internet or your schedule changes and you can't make the class at the assigned time, but you reserved a seat, no worries. There is a replay of the whole class that will be available for at least a week after the class. That'll be posted for everyone to review and watch. That does go to the people who reserve the seats. So yeah, the only thing you'd end up missing at that point is the Q&A, but the Q&A will be part of the replay for people who purchased a seat. Okay, so there is that. I was also asked by someone in the channel members. They said that I had originally posted the journal working video after, it was like 2-3 weeks after the class into the paid subscriber section of the channel here for tier 2 and tier 3. Only we edited out the Q&A because there's a lot of meaty stuff in the Q&A there. And they asked if I'd be doing that with this one. I don't currently have a plan to guarantee all of them. So I can't say that, but I will state that if the recording and the playback comes back reasonable, it is possible for tier members. I may actually post it a few weeks after it's no longer available to the people who purchased it. You won't get immediate access, and again, the Q&A will be edited off. So it's kind of the lesser version of it there. But I can't promise you'll get one for every workshop we do. It's just, we got a lot we're doing already. So there's that. But yeah, that's a great point. Thank you for bringing that up because that is something we need to make sure they know about the replay there. And I will be trying to get in there 10 minutes early about start. See, Maria, how do you know if you have a block in your chakra? That's actually a really good question, Maria, and it is a tricky one because when we work with chakras, we are working with energy because I've said it before, I'll say it again, chakras are not a literal thing. So like, let's take this little ring I got here, and let's say this is a chakra, and this is my throat chakra. I do not literally have a spinning, whirling, energetic orb in my throat. It's an energetic map, a drawing, a concept to allow us to categorize to better work with the flow of energy. It's not a literal. You could also do the same thing with just a single energy body visualization. But the ability to break it down and categorize it helps a lot of people. Makes it a lot easier to focus on specific things when you have those categories, okay? Now, with that said, that means we have to pay attention to that energy in some way, okay? And it really comes with experience. This ain't something you can just be like, all right, I'm going to tell you what to do, Maria. Go do this, and you're done. This one is one where it takes experience. So it's kind of like a new pair of shoes. Okay, if you go get a new pair of shoes, we all know this. Okay, this is why I love this analogy. We go buy the shoes, we know they fit, we bought them, right? How weird is it to walk in a new pair of shoes? They're stiff. You don't know exactly how they move. There's just that little nuance of difference that you have to take time to get to know. Same thing with driving a car. You get into a new car, there's that unfamiliar kind of feel to it, right? So if you're brand new and you've never worked with chakras, you're going to have to put in a little work and time and observation and take notes to get used to it and feel for it. That said, there's two main ways to do this, Maria. And that is when you sit down and you begin to visualize the chakras and work through them with a basic chakra meditation, which I don't know if it's live, but I got one coming, I think next month, actually. I think I have a basic chakra meditation coming by your all's request, actually. You guys seem to love the chakra video I did. So clearly there's an entire side of the metaphysics I need to be talking about on this channel, which is cool. That's what I love to find out is what you guys want, and then I can do it, right? But as you pull that energy up through the chakras, you're going to look at it and you're going to look at the color. And this is going to be very simple. The video will have a bit more in detail walkthrough for you, Maria. But you want to see if the chakra is too dull, is it too bright, or is it just right? A little Goldilocks concept. And you also want to look at the speed. Is it spinning at a reasonable speed? Is it too fast or too slow? And this is where personal perspective really comes in. And this is why the experience is there, because you kind of have to figure out what is the right pace for you. We're not all the same. Our energy systems are not the same. And you can feel the energy that you're focusing on, like the root chakra, if you already know what it feels like and you know what it should feel like if it's healthy and happy and everything. A blockage will, honestly, it's like a blocked drain. The energy is not moving through it. It's either completely stopped, which is unusual, that's not normal, or it is moving through it very, very stagnant and slow. Now, in chakra visualization, since everything has to flow up and down, that means that entire flow is going to be screwed, and you need to work with the root problem first. So let's say your root chakra is clogged up. That means everything going up and down, it's going to be slowed automatically because, well, the very starting point is clogged up. And it is a tricky one. And it does come to a bit more heavy on visualization or your ability to feel energy. But with practice, it actually comes pretty quick. And one of the things I do like about it, because y'all know I don't personally use the chakras that much in my personal practice, but one of the things I do like about it, it helps with visualization, it helps with energy work, and it helps with meditation all at the same time because you're using that visualization, that motion, that feeling of the energy moving, which is similar to why, for those of you who took Dragon Magic 101, we have the Dragon's Fire meditation in there. It works on the same basis, a bit more potent, even a bit more effective for some people. But the chakra meditation accomplishes those things as well. And during that meditation, one of the things I found that works, I know this sounds like cheesy, but if you suspect there may be a blockage, literally just look at the chakra in your mind's eye, focus on it, look at its color, and ask straight up, are you blocked? And I don't care if you see it in neon lights. I don't care if you see a ring girl with a card come out holding up the card. Just listen for a simple yes or no. Whatever comes up, just take it as gospel and roll with it. Try to do the work to fix it or move on to the next one because your subconscious, your powers that be, whatever, said it was good to go. Does that make sense? I know I said that's the short answer, but I'm Southern. Oh, that's good coffee. That was really good. Let's see. No faces with Q&A upload. Yeah, there will be no faces with the Q&A uploads either. I try to put a picture over the whole thing. So there's that. Yeah. Let's see here. But at the same time, Zoom has the ability to turn camera on and off. I know some people, it's fun to have the camera on. Like so many of you during the journal workshop, I got to actually put a face to the people I've met here online. And I view as actual friends. I look forward to getting out here and talking with y'all. So it's really cool to be able to put faces to people I know. But at the same time, there's a difference in, hey, I paid to come to this class. It's live, face. And then there's the, no, let's not do that. So yeah, when it goes to the replay, I put a picture or something over it to remove the faces whenever possible. Whenever possible. So let's see what we got. I will admit, I don't worry too much about the picture over the replay for the people who purchased the seats because we already saw each other. But for the, if it's uploaded anywhere else, I try to do that. See, good point, Botstar. Thus far, you're the singular person who's talked about chakras in a way that makes sense. I don't work with chakra system well, and people have tried to apply it externally for years. Yeah, I try to make it make sense. I try to really boil it down because there's a lot of people who want to try and talk about these things in really disconnected, like bigger than reality, kind of mystical woo-woo. You don't understand because you're not in the club or you're not enlightened. And, I'll just say it like my dad used to say it. That's horse shit. Using a very literal interpretation. No, I get it. I get the literal interpretation. I do. I get it. And that's one reason. Because I mean, personally, I've been at this for years, right? And I can't think of the last time where I was sitting down with people talking about chakras where they took the time to point out it is an energy map, not a literal. There's a few books and authors where they talk about it as an energy map, but they don't separate energy map from literal for chakras. And it's only in other books where they're talking about like the world tree or maps of the multiverse where they say this is literally a map in order to help us visualize and conceptualize something far too big for our brains to process. But they don't give the same credit to the chakras. And I know a lot of people's like, well, it doesn't really need it but I personally think it does. I personally think that distinction needs to be made. Personally. Let's see. Yeah, Angela, that's actually a good point. If you have a standardized image that a blocked chakra will present, like a wall around it, if the chakra is blocked and your subconscious is aware of that energy flow being blocked in any way, it will automatically impose that visualization over it. So that is very doable. Very, very doable. Good point. So, but I mean, again, it still takes a little practice to get into the groove, but yeah, it does help also. Good point, Angela. Very good point. That's why I love these. Not only do I get to look like I might know what I'm talking about, but you guys get to chime in and point out things I missed. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, that's Ace. Hey, Ace. Fire. Are we barbecuing? I'll take my ribs, dry rub, no sauce. It is good to see you. I haven't got a camera friendly face. GK, boy, if I can get up here, you can. But I get it. Don't worry about it. I'm terrified of cameras, so like if I had a choice to be on a video call and turn it off, I probably would too. I wouldn't blame you. No judgment. No judgment at all. If you want to come to the live class and leave your camera off, you just come on in there and participate, and we'll have us a good time. Even if you just want to come and listen to me yammer on and present the class, that's fine too. Let's see. Yeah, I get that too, Violet Star, believe it or not. I know that sounds crazy coming from a guy who jumped on the YouTube, but I do get it. I really do. Um, I didn't really think about it because I figured what I do is like in that far corner, not a lot of people looking for it side of YouTube. Like if I did cooking videos or D&D videos, that'd probably be a much bigger deal. But yeah, the metaphysical, it's not. And then when you bring it down to practicality and remove some of the bells and whistles and the woo woo and some of the edgelordy stuff, your audience starts dropping off further. But I came here to try and teach practicality and not just become a big deal. I really don't want to be a big deal. But do you have any idea how weird it was the first time I was out shopping and somebody walked up and was like, "Wait, you're that Drake guy from Working Dragon Mystic, aren't you?" And it's like, "Wait, what?" It's weird. I don't think I'll ever get used to it. I've had nothing but sweet comments though, so I don't mind it because people sweet, but it's still weird, if that makes sense. Let's see. I like it. Violet Star, what's my favorite brand of coffee? Currently speaking, the brand that is my reliable go-to is Iron Bean Coffee. I love the company. Um, I'd be tickled to death if one day I could pick up a sponsor of them. Not gonna lie. Um, I do absolutely love their coffee. I'm more of a medium to dark roast guy myself. I'm not a big light roast, but me and my wife, we got two roasts that we get on the regular, and then we have a third that we keep ordered that we rotate and try new stuff or what we're in the mood for. We go through a lot of coffee in this house. In fact, actually, what I'm drinking tonight in our Working Dragon Mystic mugs that you can get at our merch store, links below, is actually Iron Bean, and it's their dark roast brew called Odin, which is a really, really yummy, smooth dark roast if you like dark roasts. I've actually recently got Jade hooked on the stuff too. So that is my go-to. Now, if we step back and say, "Hey, Drake, what is your grocery store coffee?" I usually reach for Folgers. I'll be honest. And I know that's a drastic, like massive Grand Canyon gap from Iron Beam to Folgers, but Folgers has at least a reliable cup. It may not be the best tasting, but it's reliable. And if I can't get a better coffee, then I want reliable, if that makes sense. Let's see. Got that. Sounds like gatekeeping, Angela? I missed something, I think. These are. Hey, yeah, we got 25 people and 16 thumbs up. Come on, people, give me the finger. Come on, give me a thumbs up. And yes, I knew what I just said. Hit that thumbs up. Let YouTube know you like us. I have a big problem grounding, so I'm thinking I might have a blocked root chakra. It's a probability. If you can, you might want to check out the workshop we got coming up as well. You may find some techniques in there that can help you a little bit, hopefully. But yeah, I mean, it could. I mean, the root chakra does deal with that, but so does the whole chakra system. Because if you think about it, everything has to move down the system. So if you're having trouble grounding, there's a blocked chakra. It can be harder to get the energy out. It's not impossible, but it can be harder. Let's see. Is it Scarlett? Yep, Scarlett. I loved your butter video. Thank you. Thank you. It still surprises me how many keto carnivore individuals have found my channel because I've just made a few random comments. And I've been getting questions for keto and carnivore kitchen magic videos. And I'm laughing about it, not because I think it's silly. It's baffling how you so weirdly find people who share an interest in the dangest things on the internet. And I think most of my videos almost are carnivore because they're usually meat or something. So, but I thought about I may have to actually try and do a bit more of those. And there's actually been a lot of great questions about, keto, carnivore, how they affect the energy body. Have I noticed any difference in people I've worked with? Have they noticed any differences? Apparently, a lot of people liked the energy fasting vlog I did, the experiment. So, yeah, I love the questions because it brings a thought. Because I don't necessarily always link everything to magic, even though life is magic. So I'm loving the fact that I'm finding these people who are finding my channel and they're bringing questions to me that I hadn't thought about. I love that. That's what I love about what I do. You guys get me to think in directions I haven't thought before. So glad you loved it. We will try to do more of those for sure. When joining the workshop, I was worried about connection speed and didn't use video chat. The connection speeds can be a problem. That's another reason we do have the replay for that. If you can't use the video chat, Zoom does have like a little text thing. And if I remember correctly, Shar, I had that popped open so I could try to read it for you. And we are trying to get the process of these workshops down better. And I am going to try and keep a better eye on the chat for people who also have that same thing as well. So, yeah, we're working on it. Jade, oh, that coffee's good stuff. See, got her hooked. Ryu, greetings. Hey, good to see you. Mugs up. Well, Star, I'm trained properly on the thumbs up. It's my first thing now. Awesome. Thank you. We appreciate it. Let's see. Rants Real. What's your opinion on using martial arts to work on self-mastery, as in training the body, mind, and feel like it has been working for me and it's super irritable before I started training? Oh, I absolutely think it's amazing, personally. Now it doesn't have to be martial arts per se, though martial arts is a good way to go because you can go to a class. There's a regime to it. There's kind of a structure, a good structure to it. There's goals that you can achieve, and it's pretty easy to find a reasonable martial arts dojo of some kind in your area, whether it's just fitness or competition style or full self-defense. Doesn't really matter. You're still going to have that structure and that discipline element coming to it, and you are getting your body moving, flexible. You're working on your strength. And one thing that I have found, full stop, is body, mind, and emotional well-being are absolutely important. Absolutely. So, for example, when I talk about I'm trying to get in shape, people's like, Drake, you look fine. I appreciate it. I do. And I believe it. I truly do, because I get hit on a lot, and I don't know why. I don't see it, but clearly I'm doing something right. And well, my wife thinks I'm attractive, and I definitely married out of my league. But so it's not the looks. For me, it is about the physical health overall, as well as I have noticed a drastic difference in magic and how that all comes into effect. And the discipline of it. Magic is a very, very disciplined practice because we have to have that discipline to not only focus and direct the energy, but to also let it freaking go. Remember my video on letting go of energy? If we don't let it go, it ain't going to do nothing. Letting go is one of the hardest disciplines in magic to learn. So physical training requires a disciplined regimen to do it in any level. And that discipline not only trains the body, but it also trains the mind in the discipline. And it has a lot of emotional benefits as well. That said, before somebody jumps up here and says, Drake, I'm in a wheelchair, I can't do that. I know, I get that. We all have our own very specific challenges and limitations and those kinds of things in life. But we can all do something, okay? I got a buddy. He is in a wheelchair. We may or may not occasionally refer to him as Spuds McKenzie. Anybody gets that joke? You got a good taste in movies. But he still does a lot of physical training on his upper body. And he makes fun of us because while we're walking around trying to find a chair, his problem's solved. So, we love each other. But you got that. Walking sticks. I know plenty of people with walking sticks. Oh, there we go. That also do work. It's about doing what you can, which is one of the reasons I love calisthenics, because calisthenics is a form of strength training and exercise that honestly almost anybody can work it into their regimen, no matter how out of shape they are. And you know what? You all know that I'm very, very badly outside my old regiment. I'll be honest, I can't do it. I can't do my old regiment. I cannot. I killed myself trying to do it. So part of me has considered doing a calisthenics kind of concept, talking about magic, energy work, and athletics and how they can jive, and literally taking the fact that I'm currently out of shape as they come and trying to show real-time progressions of how you can work on those, if that makes sense. Because I know there's calisthenic sites out there where people know their stuff a lot better than I do, probably. Well, definitely. And they'll tell you about progressions, but it's one thing to see someone who's actually very athletic doing a progression and seeing someone who they have to do the progression. And that's not to knock them, because I'm glad those people are out there doing that and getting that info out for anyone. But it's something I've thought about doing. So yeah, I'm a big proponent of it. Let's see, Sophia, I haven't been able to focus on my meditation. It's like if there's interference, like a buzzing. Any advice? Take a deep breath. Start with breathing to get yourself calm, and move to focused meditation where you're focusing on something. The buzzing, that is one of those things. The mind is active. The mind is going. I get this a lot. My brain don't shut up. For those who haven't heard, I've had insomnia most of my life because my brain just don't shut up. And for those who know me in my personal life, they know my brain can be processing like 12 things at one time. And I am a hoot in a conversation because I will just randomly change subjects and it won't register with me because my brain was thinking about it the whole time. To everyone else in the room, they're like, what the crap are you, Drake? You're losing your mind. And I understand my brain is weird. So it is there. It does that thing. And it really comes down to learning to focus, learning to pull yourself in. It's not easy. It's not. I still have trouble with it to this day. In fact, my meditations right now are being affected by all the things I need to do preparing for the move coming up next year, where I got to think about videos to pre-film for the channel just in case I don't have internet. I got to think about getting the evocation course. I got to think about the packing. I got to think about the cleaning. I got to think about, getting the stuff that we're paring down out of the house. There's like thousands of things that I need to do, and my brain wants to think about them all at once. So when I sit down to meditate and enjoy my time, I sit down and all of a sudden it's, hey, what about this? 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 It's annoying. But After years of dealing with my friends, because my friends can be annoying, I love them, but they can. I have learned to focus. I pick something and I lock myself in. Now, to this, I get a question. Well, Drake, what if I don't have anything I need to meditate on? I never said that. I said find something to focus on. I don't care if your relaxation is a beach with the waves lapping on the shore and a nice coconut drink in this hand, a straw hat, and some god awful Bermuda shorts. If that's relaxing to you, visualize it. You're on that beach. You've got your coconut drink. That's what you visualize. Put your focus there. Um, and you will find yourself getting into that meditative state and relaxing pretty freaking quickly. I wish I had a better one, but the mind is a fickle friend. It really is. It is both one of our greatest allies and at times the most annoying one. So that's the best advice I can give you in all honesty. Hope it helps a little bit. Letting go is the most difficult. It really is. It really is. Okay, Mathis. Hey, Drake, how are you doing? I'm just finishing up the clip off and was intense. Did you ever do the Cossacks, the veils above the cliff off? Yes, I actually, 2 path workings now. I've gone through the full tree. And I actually have another path working that focuses deep diving on the pathways and the tunnels. I still want to do that. I was hoping to do it this year. Ain't happening. That may be something I'll work on next year. But yeah, I have. It's intense. It really is. Let's see. I usually incorporate Taoist magic into my training. Hey, that makes sense. That really does. JK, I've graduated from. Hey, mugs up to you, JK. That's success right there. That is a success. I need more coffee. GK, you're getting another mugs up because we ran out of coffee there. All right, mugs up. See, Anthony, my dang brain is like that too. Yep, it's a pain. And that's another fact. When a thought pops up, I mean, that's the reason I didn't mention it. But if it's the buzzing, it's really more focus. If it's thoughts, like you'll have random thoughts pop through while you're trying to focus, acknowledge it. And by acknowledge it, what do I mean? I mean, it comes in, it's like, oh, did you pay the light bill? Well, if I'm meditating on my health, light bill's not really what I'm focused about. So it's like, okay, there's that thought. Bat it out of the way. Did you eat a Snickers bar? Okay, well, now that thought is definitely to do with my health. Yes, I did. I should probably not do that, blah, blah, blah. Accept it, process it, move on. Just keep that up. But with buzzing in the mind and just constant static, I don't find that really works too much because it's there. I will say this, that when you are trying to focus on whatever it is you're trying to focus, do accept the buzzing. Be like, there's that buzzing. I need to focus. Because ironically, the acceptance that it's there and the reminder of needing to focus can actually help the focus. But it is a little different than accepting a thought and dealing, a little different, slightly. All right. But that is a good point to bring up. Oh, yeah, there's a very good chance I'm ADHD. I would not doubt it in the least. In fact, like every time somebody's like, this is a sign of this, it's like, yeah, I got that. 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 But I was raised in Kentucky. Stuff like ADHD, and it didn't exist. You was just a young whippersnapper. Pull it together. Go. Let's see. Sophia thinks I'll do the meditation again today and use the event. Awesome. That's the ticket, Sophia. Don't give up. Keep on moving forward. Awesome. Go get it. That's what I love to hear. Do I think the Sephiroth is worth doing? You mean the Tree of Life? Actually, I do. I really do. I've been asked this on several occasions, which should I do? And in my opinion, if you're going to work with one tree, I really think you should work with the other. Because, and this could be the dragon magic talking. It could go to the dragon magic talking. But they are two sides of the same coin. They're not separated. They are literally interconnected. And if you really want to draw out all the wisdom and understanding from the process that you can, I really do feel you need to work with both of them to get the most out of it, the fuller picture, if you will. There's a lot of people disagree with that philosophy and idea, and I respect that. I got a lot of people that are Catholic workers only. There's a lot of people who's Tree of Life workers only, and to them I say, groovy, you do you, and I'll be happy for you. Personal philosophy, which is what you're asking, Mathis, I do think there's a benefit. I think it does give you a much broader picture and a better understanding, greater wisdom. So hope that helps a little bit there, Mathis. How do you pull energy from sources for like spells? Well, let's take this in the example of the Dragon's Flame ritual. The Dragon's Flame ritual is not literally calling in the rulers, it's calling in energy currents that the rulers work with. That energy is coming into the space you set up. You're feeling the energy of that area with that. That means that during spell working, if instead of just sitting down and doing a candle spell, if I instead start with the Dragon's Flame ritual, I now have all this draconic energy that I can pull from around me and focus it to the candle. Okay. And I don't currently have a candle. So, no, can't grab that. Don't grab it. We're going to use the parrot. The parrot is screen friendly. We're going to use the parrot. So let's say this, we're going to charge this parrot for good luck. We've done the Dragon's Flame ritual. Okay. You want to take the object, you can hold it, you can set it down in front of you. I think we can set it. No, he won't show up on the screen if I set it. So we're going to have to hold him, but you can set it down and direct the energy over it like that, or you can hold it. And you want to pull the energy. You want to literally feel and visualize the energy around you coming to your hands, okay? And gathering it in your hands, and then you directing it to the bird or the parrot and charging it with the intent of the working that you're doing. Does that make sense? This is purposely pulling from that outside energy to put it here. Tweet, tweet. And that prevents you from burning all your energy stores in the process. And your hat fell off, dude. There we go. All right. Hope that helps a little, Maria. Oh, and I should say, for those who've been asking for the Draconic Lesser Banishing Ritual Pentagram, guess what? I finally got it filmed. We'll be seeing that next month. I am so happy we finally got that filmed. I actually missed that ritual. It was a lot of fun to get back in and do that ritual some more. So I'm glad you all asked for it. Let's see. I try to memorize a banishing ritual in order to ground myself when my intrusive thoughts come. I can see that. I can see that. When you are doing that, though, make sure you're also refueling the tank. Anytime you take anything from you, you need to make sure you're balancing that energy out. So you're pulling neutral to positive energy in. Otherwise, you're going to leave a void, which is easy to fill up with more negative thoughts. Remember that. Let's see. We got about 10 minutes left before Jade starts throwing clocks at me, people. Let's see what we got. Have you ever come across the it's Glyptothic Labyrinth that Geronimo talks about above the veils of the Glyptoth, also called the tunnels of Ephet? I have no idea how to find or initiate them. I have not seen VK Geronimo's work on those particular things. I will admit that. Weirdly, I ain't seen any of his stuff pop up in a while. I don't know if he left the YouTube, he went somewhere, I don't know. But I did enjoy some of his insights on some things. I actually disagree with some of his insights on things. But at the same time, that's the beauty of the world. We can disagree and still learn from each other. Though what it sounds like he's talking about is in some ways the tunnels of Set, which I have heard referred to as the tunnels of Ephet as well. Um, I don't know why he's referring to it as transclifothic. That's a little interesting, which it could, again, and it mentions the labyrinth, which again, the pathways and tunnels are referred to as a labyrinth. So he may be using a slightly variant terminology to talk about those tunnels and those pathways, which is actually the next path working I'm going to do. The only really good detailed work I've personally found on the tunnels is by Azimuth Mason. It Her Cliff Author books are expensive, I'll be honest, but I would say they're worth it. Y'all know I don't really toot a lot of horns when it comes to things unless I really enjoyed them. Much like I always, when it comes to the Havamal, Dr. Jackson Crawford's the one who gets my money on it because I've not found a work as good as his personally. Um, so there is that. So you may want to look into her works, Mathis, but without specifically seeing Geronim's work, I can't really comment beyond that. And I don't want to mislead you or something on that. But I can say in in the past, I have enjoyed a lot of his insights. Again, don't agree with them all, but I've enjoyed them a lot. I think there's a lot, and honestly, I'm a big believer in there's insight and wisdom to be gained in watching something you don't agree with. So I used to enjoy his material. Um, Weirdly, I haven't seen it. I'm actually going to have to get out here and see if he's still making some stuff because I find it weird. I ain't seen him in a while. Yeah, I see what you're saying. I kind of sort of think I know what he's talking about, but it's so vague. I don't have enough info to comment well on it, and I don't want to miscomment if that makes sense. I try to be honest. All hell the good luck pair. Okay, Jade, now you're making fun of me. Didn't have a lot of items to pick from quickly. It's a slightly different labyrinth. There, it's slightly different when we're talking about the cliff off. Dragon of the West. What's the difference between the spirit and the soul? Well, to be quite frankly, it depends on your spiritual religious beliefs because it differs from belief to belief, and for all intents and purposes, we don't really know that there's any separation at all. Other than the separation that some traditions place upon it. So, for example, the Norse, I want to say it's the our self is broken into three or four pieces. It's because it's been a long day, so I can't remember. The Egyptian has a similar concept where it's broken into three or four. But then other traditions and practices, it's just a singular thing. So the purpose really entirely depends upon the spiritual or religious belief, not a actual. And for that, I would have to say look to your path, your tradition, and your beliefs. If you're Norse, look into it. If you're Egyptian, look into their concepts of the dead. I know voodoo has it, but if you're asking this question, I know you're already not initiated there, so that's not anything that needs talked about. So yeah, those would be where I go because again, spiritual and religion, you got to understand that those things are not really provable concepts. They're a matter of faith, belief, and choice of path to walk. And well, I've said it before. I'm a faithless bastard. I don't really do spirituality or religion. I take magic from a more scientific perspective. I know I can't put magic fully under a scientific lens. That ain't going to stop me from trying. But yeah, and so far under that lens, the soul and the spirit is the same thing. If the data comes in to change that, I'll let y'all know when it does. But for now, it hasn't. Let's see, oh man, no boldness. I know. I never said there was no minotaurs. There's plenty of minotaurs. I personally hope that Minotaur is not literal, considering the story surrounding it. That's messed up. But then a lot of Greek myths get a little wonky if you ever actually read them. Disney definitely didn't present them as was for a lot of people who think Disney did. But yeah, the Minotaur story I did always find interesting as well, and the concept of a labyrinth, I have to admit. Let's see, AT dropping in to say hi, hit the like button, have a good week, and keep your head up. Much love to you. Hey, AT, thank you. Mugs up. Have a great week yourself. Let's see, it's amazing how much you've grown. One of the bigger magical channels on YouTube now. That's great, man. Thanks, Matt. I'm still kind of baffled. Um, and I owe it all to you all. I really do. I know many of you are sharing videos on social media around the platform and everything. And well, you all are better at social media than I am. But thank you. I'm still surprised so many people want to pop on here and hear a Southern redneck like me share his wisdom that for what that may be. So thank you. Well, let's start. Take it easy. Have a great night. All right. Any last minute questions that I can answer quickly because we're like 4 minutes from clocks being thrown at me. Amazing Magick. Thanks. See you later. Okay. Shit. Oh. Before we go, there is something I want to say. There is. So many of you do know that me and Squirrel tried to start a D&D channel, and we both ran out of time. However, doing the roundtables, we realized that we can use Zoom to record her and I debating, chatting, getting nerdy with D&D and stuff like that. And we are looking at using that model to really do that. And one of the things that her and I have been nerding out on a lot lately is the new edition of D&D coming out. So if that actually pops up in the movement, don't be surprised if I tell you and send you all over there, because for those who don't know, I love D&D. It's a great game, but I do not want it and this channel connected. I want to keep them separated so that we know that this is the real Magic. This is the D&D fantasy Magic. Okay, we got to keep them separated. So if me and her actually get this off the ground as we're thinking, and you want to join us in the chaos and crazy and fun and nerding out, I will be sending you over there, and I do highly request that you join us if we do it. And we're going to see about trying to get the first one this week. Okay, so there you go. Now you can come and nerd out with a redneck, not just talk magic. And we may even do a few lives over there. We'll see how it goes. We're tinkering with ideals. And y'all know I love to get to spend time with my daughter. So, yeah. Okay, let's see. Spirits for motivations to work out. Thor. When it comes to motivating to work out, I honestly, absolutely freaking love Thor. First off, as grumpy as he can be, he is fun as hell. Any of you have had that fun-loving, good-hearted, gentle giant construction worker who has minor anger or foul mouth issues, but you could just take him anywhere. Everybody's going to love him, even if he's throwing a fit. And it's a guy you could get a beer with any day of the week. But at the same time, you could seriously, this is the guy you can take to the gym. He's going to motivate you. He's going to encourage you. He's going to help you. He's going to be by your side the whole time. That is Thor. It is amazing. Hands down, when it comes to working out, I adore Thor. I know a lot of you are aware I didn't spend a lot of time working with him when I did my initial Norse stuff, which I kind of feel bad about. But in recent years, I've been working more and more with him, and I am absolutely adoring it. So, Mathis, I got to give the props to Thor on that question, man. And sorry if I gushed and fangirled a little bit on him, but yeah, there we go. Believe me, I understand the lazy. Let's see. And see, I don't know if they did or not make a good casting choice because Thor's not blonde. Thor's not chiseled. Don't get me wrong. I love Chris Hemsworth's personality, but visually and, well, actually, even personality wise, he misses the mark so many ways from a traditional Thor. But I'm okay with him in Marvel because Marvel's Norse mythology has nothing to do with Norse mythology. And it's sad how many people's like, oh, I know Norse mythology, and they start quoting Marvel to me. People, if you're interested in Norse, pick up the Poetic Eddas and actually read the myths. Don't go to Marvel. Marvel don't know what they're talking about. They, yeah, it's crazy. All right, Jade is officially throwing clocks at me, and I do have a lot to do tonight. So I'm going to have to get off here. Everyone, this has been an absolute blast. I missed you all, and thank you for understanding and that I had to take a weekend off, though I am fully aware you all highly enjoy it. Anytime Squirrel does run a live stream, you guys try to get her to do more videos. But again, she is a busy, busy, busy young lady. So, yeah, I thank you for joining me. Thank you for your questions. You got some great questions tonight. And I know we mentioned the concept of possibly doing some of the physical style videos and talking about the energy work. If that is something you all might be interested in, drop a comment below and let me know. Once the live stream ends, it usually puts the comments down there. But yeah, let me know. We'll see what we can do. Because like I said, I got to film plenty of videos to get us through this move and stuff. So yeah. All right. Let's see. Make sure I didn't miss anything. Chris is hot. Such blasphemy. I didn't say it wasn't hot. I have no qualms about admitting the man's hot. Okay. But being hot does not make you mythologically accurate. There's a difference. And I actually think he's a pretty good actor. I think he can carry that range and that serious and humor pretty well, actually. But that's beside the point. Anyways, moving on. Take care. Thank you very much. Thank you. All right, good. Cool. All right, everybody, you have a fantastic week. Stay safe, and I'll see you next week. Take care. Good night.